Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, my voice is going already. Guess where I am? As you can see, the stone circle behind me there. There's my lovely old truck, looking a little bit better, looking a bit loved. So I'm just about to leave the Glastonbury Festival site. Not that I haven't left yet. I've been coming and going, but my truck's been here because of the brake pipes, like I say, yeah, had a big problem there with the brakes, and right at the very last time I touched the brakes because I'd stamped the pedal on to get on these blocks, and at some point I think one of the pipes had been pinched, so I've had to repair that as well while I've been doing all that. I'm gonna call the dog. Shanti, come here. Shanti. Shanti, come here. I want to keep her close because there's lots of streams near here, and Glastonbury Festival people. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, here she comes. Here she is. She's probably found some kind of one of the little streams, and then she goes into oh my god, this sting. Anyway, I'm not even going to go until you can guess. You can guess. Horrible. Anyway, hopefully we've managed to stay away from that. And ironically, I had to clean the drains out in my girlfriend's place yesterday, and it's been having a problem, and it was just like it was a real clearing thing because I've been really feeling as if the drains need to be unblocked a little bit, and maybe that's a bit of a clean out. And having COVID directly after the festival as well, whatever you want to call it, a flu. It was a flu. But now I feel great. I feel like a load has been cleaned out, and it's forced me to clean loads of other stuff out. And so here I am up at the stone circle, looking over the whole site. And so I thought I'd start off. Well, yeah, I've got to tell you about the crop circle. So I'm not going to show you the crop circle now because the computer's in the bag, blah blah blah, and I haven't notified crop circle connector yet either, and because it's happened to us and our little group, and then we've got a friend who's got a not a drone, a quadcopter, I think, or helicopter, or quadcopter, something like that. But he used to fly drones, and now he's ripped all that gudgeons out, and this is the new trend with drones: is there's no, other than absolute control, like the old-fashioned ways of kind of radio-controlled airplanes and all that sort of stuff. That's the way it all goes now. They're not using electronic kind of like navigating systems. They're flying it all by just piloting these things directly, and the stunts that they're doing. Anyway, so I'm going to show you a video. I've got permissions to use the video, and so I'll load it in. I'll load the video. I'll load it up anyway, and get it out, and I'll send it off to crop circle connector. And I'm not saying it's a legitimate crop circle. I'm not saying it's illegitimate. For me, it's cosmic because it arrived at the field just below our place, or my girlfriend's place. Morning from the States. Denver, Colorado. Oh my God, Denver. You're from Denver. Oh my God. So you are kind of well on this, what a big debate. Is it Denver? The kind of like Georgia, Denver? Have I got that right? Maybe I got that wrong. For some reason, I'm sure I went through there when I came and did my big tour in America. I'm sure I went through Denver, and I can remember the stones, but of course you don't really look at the stones when you're walking down the airport corridors, and you've got those scenes of the demonic soldiers running after everyone in terror. It's just that's what I seem to remember when you came down the airport. It was the most shocking, terrifying scenes. They were the exact scenes that I saw in my dream that led to me understanding Planet X, because I'd written a whole book, Laughing Gas. The whole thing was written with me just being told via this ayahuasca, originally starting with this ayahuasca journey, where I'm told that, I just want to know what the hell's going on, and I'm told you approach the wall, the wall, and I'm like, it's just like nothing gets past the wall that is of war. Nothing. Throw all your depleted uranium, all your nuclear bombs. You will never scratch the surface of this. It has seen so much bigger. And so this had been led to me to write Laughing Gas and do this whole process. You think, saying that we're gonna be forced. Britain is going to be the Trojan horse that's going to feed Europe into a war with Russia, all in the name of technology, all driven by nitrogen, which is exactly what's happened. They've created this crazy situation. The opening of Laughing Gas is kind of me carrying around this kind of like this, this book, this puzzle, really, that was, the book was called The Party's Over. And it was a German author, I forget his name, and I'm so sorry, but the book I definitely remember, and it was called The Party's Over, and I carried it around for a long time, and it is a statistician's fanfare of facts. And the biggest, most startling thing is when you look at the level of oil that we are now extracting, or have been extracting, because of these fiat-based currencies that are no longer relative to the gold in Fort Knox, but only to the amount of money we can move. Literally nothing more. Your GDP, your gross domestic product, decides how much money you can borrow, which means the more you can move, the more banks you can set up within your country, for say, that can move money. Means you can print in accordance, you can print credit in accordance to that movement. You suddenly bring in eToro and all these massive great hubs where money's being moved. You suddenly kind of like bring in kind of like a mass frequency trading, where you don't hold the stock, you have to hold the stock. Each stock has to be held for a minimum of a second or 2 seconds, however long it is, and then they can be moved in algorithms to try and define and make it look as if like it's lots of people, like we do with democracy. Our understanding of democracy, where we all come together, or we think we do, but actually, the first time I ran for government in 2001, we created a political party. That's what led to me having this whole space here at Glastonbury. We suddenly realised that a political party had its right for its own 24-hour members-only bar. Hello, what do I run here? A 24-hour members-only bar. And it gave you the right to gather, because that's what was denied as a result of the criminal justice bill. It said that people couldn't gather, but you could gather if you're a political party, because that was demo people. You can have a load of numbers on a piece of paper, but it will never be a demograph if it's not about people. And when I turned up to the election count in 2001, Norman Cook had come and played at our party. We were just a bunch of kids sitting in a screen printing in Jim's screen printing studio. We were playing these crazy ideas, and then as soon as we suddenly decided that we were all going to run, actually for government, not just set up a political party, but actually run for government as well. Why we were there, and we took the whole party to the count, and the kind of electoral officer came out to me, and she said, "You've got to shut them up. You've got to shut them up." Look at that, she's come back drenched. Always finds the water, pesky little rascal. Anyway, I said, I think you're talking to the wrong person. I said, "I bought them." And she said, "This isn't right." I said, "Take a look at that." And I gave her my little speech. That's what democracy, that's what lots of people coming together really looks like. Not just a sea of cameras. And then what happened? And then, this is, then the Tory guys goes to speak, and I put my finger up to my mouth, and everyone goes quiet, and we're taking the whole party. Can you imagine? Norman Cook was pulling 1 million people when he was holding free parties down on the beach in Brighton. We took the whole party to the count. And everyone just went quiet when the Tory leader went up to his microphone. And as he went up, I just kind of held my thumb at half mast. And as soon as he opened his mouth, I dropped my thumb. And Keith Taylor, who was a Green candidate. He looked at me. Well, I don't think we ever really saw eye to eye. I don't think he liked me that much. I was reckless. I was what he would probably have considered an anarchist. Do you know what I mean? He didn't like what I was doing. He was trying to get on. He was bringing the kind of Green Party forward, he felt. And I also felt that was true as well, whether he saw the same in me. But when he walked up to the microphone, he looked at me and he could see me holding my thumb at half-mast. And when he went to speak, I didn't drop my thumb. I gave him the thumbs up. And he was seen. The only shot that Britain, via the TV cameras, had of Keith Taylor or of the elections in Brighton weren't the throngs that had gathered, not for me, but for what we were standing for, what it represented. And he was seen standing in front of a sea of screaming, jubilant masses. And that was when the Green Party, you know, in Brighton, it was changed in a moment. Then we could have the first Green candidate in Brighton because suddenly people believed they could change it. They saw the power they really had. They saw the power of real democracy. And we also saw the power of real democracy. That's what real democracy looks like, a field full of beautiful people. Anyway, so I've had friends come over. We've had friends coming over from Israel for this, for Glastonbury, and especially Rach, you know, all the people that she met in that original crop circle that occurred in 2009. And just to come back, we're going to get back to these crop circles now and talking about those. But this crop circle, I didn't discover it. I didn't discover the image via a crop circle. I'd built my model as up to 2020. I was showing you this model. I've been exploring it since 2019. I've been exploring it since Alex Luhan's famous shot that I've showed you a million times on the 1st of September 2019 that gave me legitimate, absolute empirical evidence, because I showed you it coming in and then going out, and there it was arcing round. It hadn't gone round our sun. It had another bigger primary it was way more interested in. Our sun was the smaller of the players in that story, clearly. And so I'd built this new model and I'd used Universe Sandbox as the animation engine to build that, you know, and then I wasn't able to take it to that advanced. So then I'd use kind of various different film editing studios to overlay those so I could build it out, because I couldn't program that depth of movement into Universe Sandbox in one flowing motion as I show in my latest model. But nonetheless, when I put them over the top, I saw this symbol on the side of this sculpture of an alien skull, and it was an old grey alien cradling a young Inca god, and then there was another one of an old Inca god cradling a baby grey alien. There was a Mayan calendar, and there was the symbol on the side of the head, and I said to my girlfriend Rach, I said, look at that. So look at that image. If I put my model over the top of that, they are the same. It's showing us our model, the model I've built, but in the hummingbird effect, it gives it motion. It gives it power. Our place in the universe is not fixed. It's a moving, energetic. We are flying through space. We are not, as our model is showing us, stationary, and all of these objects just going around us. We have to bring our heads out of that old 2,000 more than years of slavery and de-energizing who we are by taking our cosmic energy away, by disconnecting us from the magnificent energy that is available to us all the time. We are bringers of the dawn. This is our day. Shanti, come here. Good girl. She's not actually that dirty, actually, looks quite clean. Oh, just, I've had a lot of downloads and that sort of stuff. So anyway, so friends turned up, they wanted to, I don't know if I can do this. I've got to go. But anyway, the friends turned up, they wanted to go to, oh yeah, so just finishing the crop circle bit there, then the crop circle, then I show Rach and she was like, oh my God, all my mates, we all met in this crop circle in 2009, check it out. And we looked at it and I show you the two images in the last video and I showed you them in 2020. And it was just like, they are exactly the same, not slightly the same, exactly the same. And it was just like cosmic, beyond comprehension. Anyway, friends turned up. We managed to get up to the stones last year in Avebury, and not Stonehenge but Avebury, to see the kind of lights, to see if we could find any crop circles. But I was a crazy time. That's when I met that guy. I think his name's John. I'm sure it's John Smith. I might have that wrong, but I think it was John Smith who took me to and showed me a spaceship. He said, look up now, and I looked up. And a spaceship appeared above my head, as in a star, a very big star. It moves directly my north, exactly, for a very short period, and then went out of view. He wasn't looking at it, and as soon as it went out of view, he looked back up at me and he said, that's just for you, that is. And then I read you one of his chapters. Do you remember? I was so blown apart. I was just like, you are it, mate. You are it. Oh my God. And I just, anyway, another story. I'd basically just given him a donation as well. Not to say he performs for donation, because he wouldn't accept it. And I said, this is, he said, no, I really don't want anything for the book. And I said, no, this isn't for the book. This isn't for the book. And this is after JDoc74 had just given me a massive donation, which had changed my life and enabled me to keep going on doing the stuff that I'm doing. So I was able to turn around to him and say, look, I've just got to bung you some money. I said, this isn't for the book. I said, you gave me the book and the book's received and I fucking love the book, but this is for you. This is for the cause. This is what you're all about. This is... So when someone you already asked me, said, could I give him some hand editing his book? I was like, man, I'm so loaded up with all the stuff that I'm doing, honestly. But I said, you give someone that, you're going to give them time to do their shit. Like you need time to do your shit. And so that's a call out as well for assistance and help right now, as much as anything else, because I'm running out of cash as well. But needless to say, do you know what I mean? It's just like we're all just trying to get through these times, and miracles are afoot. Anyway, we didn't get up there this year, and all our friends have come over from Israel to go up to the stones again and and get a message. And then Willow, whose daughter I brought up for 7 or 8 years, so a very dear friend, called us up and said, there's a crop circle down the end of your road. There's a crop circle down the end of your road. And so I'm not going to show that crop circle now. There's more to come. There's going to be a day of activity. We're about to pick up Pete, who turned up after 3 years in India, who edited Laughing Gas. I'm going to take him off now, pick him up. I'm going to take him on an adventure on the boat. Boats, maybe. Maybe make a little video up there with him and show you this crop circle and this cosmic time that we're all having. And share it with you a little bit and just let you come on a journey. But whilst I'm up here, just back to this space, can I just do some thank yous? I want to thank Debs for kind of like keeping me involved in the Griller Bar. I want to thank Phil, who also does the diner, and Phil is as much Shangri-La and Las Vegas as Debs. You know what I mean? The pair of them are they're a dynamic to be reckoned with. You know, and they took over when we were running it very much with Roy back in the day when the Travellers Field was first taken from the security. It was a war down here, literally, war. Fighting, it's like Wat Tyler's days. And Michael Eavis settled it by saying, look, I'm going to give you that bit of land then. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you that bit of land. That's going to be the traveller's field. We'll work it all out. And everyone that's in there has run that space. There's always been that kind of thing, and that all came as a result of the kind of the energy that had been born as a result of all those vehicles being smashed up, the homes in, I guess it would have been, Castle Morton would have been 292, so it must have been 80s, it could have been 87, it might have been even earlier than 87, but it could have been 80, no, it couldn't have been 82, because 82 was Falklands. Could have been 80, it's 85 maybe. It's difficult to say, isn't it? For the Battle of the Beanfields. It caused a stir. So much love. I will keep you posted. I'm going to show you this footage in a little bit. But just wanted to say thank you to Phil and Debs there, and for everyone who who was involved in that bar. You know, Garfield. Imagine that bar without Garfield, it wouldn't work. JP, wouldn't work without JP. I don't know where Grania was this year. God, Grania was seriously missed. I hope she was, apparently she was on another part of the field having loads and loads of fun, but Grania, you know what I mean, you'll always be a part of that bar, do you know what I mean? We didn't see you that much this week, I didn't see you at all, I kept telling. Anyway, you were sorely missed, and sorely loved. And everyone who's in that bar, Leon, my business partner in crime in that bar, that, you know, that's got us, you know, the original bar that I did was with Leon and Bry, the original musketeer. And it's a bit of an all-star cast of all, many faces in that bar. Kay, who's now the artistic director of Shangri-La. An amazing time, amazing experience, an amazing thing to share with so many beautiful people, so many switched on people that all have very diverse, different opinions about what's going on. Very different, but all are in great favour of each other and their freedom and their rights to express those different opinions. And they put them on pedestals, the more wacky. But you know, you have to be able to present your data, and if you cannot present your data in a functional manner that can be picked up, then expect to go down. Me too, you know. But if you put your truth out there and someone takes you down and does correct you and puts you in the right place because you had the balls to speak that truth and let it out so you could be educated if you needed to be educated, rather than just having some noise in your back brain where you think you're right but you never qualify, you never have the balls to speak your mind. So you never have a chance to actually get to see the rights and the wrongs and the goods and the bads of it, and actually be able to poke a stick at it and evolve those ideas into powerful bolts of lightning. So this one goes out to you, all around the world. We're going to keep you posted. Let's carry on this day. All the love. And now, let's go work out how to switch that off. Take care. That's not the one. That one? Okay, I think that's it. Are you sure you want to stop the streaming? Take care, lovely people. Thank you so much for sharing some time with me. Come on, chat.